almost mid-May, here in the Pacific Northwest, together with stinging nettle, Urtica dioica, family, Urticaceae, or Urticaceae, cousins, Urtica urens, family cousins, Cannabanaceae or Cannabanaceae, with cannabis and hops. Urtica comes from Latin, from urere, which means pain, and urticaria means rash, which you get if you touch these leaves unprotected. Dioica, the specific epithet, refers to this particular species having two different plants, male plants and female plants. Dioecious species of plants are not that common, but they include cannabis, hops, holly, yews, and stinging nettle. Stinging nettle are a perennial herbaceous plant, and you can see last year's growth that survives winter as rhizomes underground. It also multiplies vegetatively through those underground rhizomes, and this patch could be a clone. Depending on the conditions, they can grow rather tall, as you can see right here, and they can make rather large leaves as well. The stinging, it's an adaptation to anti-herbivory, and they have very sharp glass-like trichomes, which comes from Greek for hairs, which also are brittle like glass, and when they break, they become hypodermic needles, injecting a concoction of chemicals that will give you the rash. Those chemicals include histamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and formic acid. Stinging nettles are native to Europe, Western Asia, and Northern Africa, and they grow really well on wet, moist soil, here at the forest edge. They were introduced in North America, Australia, and New Zealand, and they naturalized in numerous places where they were introduced. Rather large leaves have also rather long petioles, a cordate base, acuminate tip, and serrate margins. And they're full of these trichomes on the leaf as well as on the stem. Early in spring, when stinging nettles just emerge, if you're using gloves or you know how to pick them, they do make an amazing forage food. For a green vegetable, they have a high concentration of protein per dry weight, up to 25%. Stinging nettles produce numerous small greenish flowers in the axils of these large leaves. And again, one plant will produce only pollinating or staminate flowers, and the other one will produce only pistillate or carpellate flowers, the female flowers, eventually producing seed. Since they're wind pollinated, they also produce a large amount of pollen. But if you're worried about spring fever, you might be surprised to know that even though they're wind pollinated, which means they produce a large amount of pollen, tea or soup made of stinging nettles early in spring, not when they're already producing seeds, it is actually an herbal remedy against spring fever and allergies. Oil infused with stinging nettles and then made into a salve or a cream can be used against rashes. So it does cause rashes, but it does have chemicals to help you fight a rash as well. By the time they grew tall and they start producing flowers, it is time to stop cropping. It is best to crop them only in early spring when they are small. As the plant is preparing to produce its next generation, it will protect itself further, besides the stinging hairs, by developing cystoliths, which are tiny little stones, which not only that are gritty, but they're also not healthy. You could still collect them at this time and prepare a tea as a hair rinse. Stinging nettles have been used for hundreds of years for hair health, as the last rinse after you washed your hair. Nettles textiles were found in Denmark dating 3300 to 1200 BCE. And considering that they're related to Cannabanaceae, which includes hemp, it explains why you can actually make textile fibers from their very long, straight stems. But why should you consider including some nettles in your life? Only collected early in spring, way before they start blooming, when they start protecting themselves by producing cystoliths. They're rich in vitamins A, C, K, and several B vitamins, as well as minerals such as calcium, iron, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, potassium. Stinging nettles also contain several types of healthy fatty acids. You didn't think so, it's just the green, right? As well as polyphenols and beta-carotene. And how we should care about all these phytochemicals? Most of them, including the vitamins, act as antioxidants, which help our body fight free radicals. Free radicals can cause mutations and cancer. Cell damage due to free radicals happens due to age, the environment, and lifestyle choices. Adding more stinging nettles to your diet might reduce inflammation. It might reduce the effects of spring allergies. Stinging nettles might lower blood pressure, as well as helping in controlling blood sugar levels. Cautions. Consuming cooked stinging nettles is usually considered safe, but collecting them without proper care and gloves, it can cause rashes, bumps, itchiness, redness, and it can last a few days depending on your exposure. Consuming stinging nettles when pregnant may lead to miscarriage, as it might cause uterine contractions. Consuming stinging nettles together with medication that lowers blood pressure and controls blood sugar levels, it is also a problem because they have the same effect. Chemicals in stinging nettle may interact and strengthen the activity of these medications. But if these problems are not of concern to you, you might consider including some stinging nettles in your life.